Good morning, Preston Road family. As we prepare to partake of communion and spend this time worshiping in our house once again, I'm reminded of so many of you that I miss seeing each Sunday. Thinking about communion, I am reminded of how much I miss Andrea Dyer or Gerald and Gail Turner standing at the back and directing the communion servers. I'm reminded of standing in the back and being served the bread and the cup by people like Kenny Stevens or Pete Schinkel, Joe and Carol Fox, so many others. I miss seeing you guys, and I look forward to the day that we'll gather together again. I am pretty certain I'm not going to take those times for granted either. I look forward to being back with you, but during this time where we're apart, I pray that each of us is truly experiencing a Sabbath rest, a holy rest, where we take time to spend with the Lord and set apart from our busy lives. There's a phrase that several of my closest friends use. I'm having a Jim Barnett kind of day. And they use this when they have multiple appointments, a breakfast, a lunch, make it home in time for one of their kids' ball games, or maybe there's a lot of car and air travel involved. And when they used to say this, I would wear it as a badge of honor because I, like so many other Americans, do want to accomplish as much as I can every single day. I would say things like sleep is overrated or I'll sleep whenever I die. I really did have this feeling that whenever I was asleep, I was missing out. But there's a passage in Proverbs 24 that I would grab onto that says, "A little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to rest, and poverty will come on you like a bandit, and scarcity like an armed man." I would use that as kind of my theme verse, ignoring those verses that say, "Be still and know that I am God," or "The Lord is in his holy temple, let all the earth keep silent before him," or all the others that have to do with rest. As I've grown in my understanding of God, that phrase, "a Jim Barnett kind of day," has become embarrassing to me. For some of us, like myself, busyness can be our idol. Our worth is found in how busy we are or how much we're doing. St. Augustine said that idolatry is trying to find in anything else that which can only be found in God. Contentment, fulfillment, joy. But so often I feel like if I can just get caught up at the office, or if I can do one more thing before I go to bed, or if I can see one more person or have one more appointment, that's what will bring me contentment. It's for that reason that God gave us the fourth commandment. Remember the Sabbath and keep it holy. He knew that we would have an aversion to rest. Babies fight sleep even though they need it. Of course, toddlers never want to take a nap. Teenagers stay up late into the night, and then it's difficult for them to wake up in the morning. And even as adults, we fight sleep. We do as much as we can and have to use energy drinks or B12 shots or whatever it may be to keep going. The fourth commandment is a trust issue. We fight rest because sometimes we don't trust God to give us the abundant life that he's promised. The Pharisees had 1,521 rules, 1,521 rules on how a person could break the Sabbath. They took that gift and turned it into a burden. But I worry that sometimes the pendulum may have swung too far the other way, that I myself have 1,521 ways that I can observe the Sabbath and still get everything done, go to church and then get on to my busy life. I don't say this to make you feel guilty or certainly to make myself feel guilty. I can remember confessing before this church before, my son, when he was really little, stopping and asking me, "Dad, why do we always have to be in a hurry?" It was like a dagger to my heart that I was modeling that busyness for my son. So I don't say this to make you feel guilty. I say this as a reminder of what Jesus told the Pharisees in Mark 2:27. The Sabbath was made for man, and not man for the Sabbath. You see, the fourth commandment is a gift. The Sabbath rest is not merely finding rest, finding sleep, refraining from work. It's actually refraining from work so that we can do something holy, becoming reinvigorated by time with God. God has built into us each the need for a quiet time with Him, the need to be away from the noise and to have time where we can just be still and rest and think about what an awesome God we serve. Our world tells us that our worth is found in how much we can accomplish. But God tells us our worth is found in how much He loves us. Our life will tell the world whether we believe that or not. So, a life of faith in God provides for rest, not just for our bodies, but also for our souls. As we enter into this time of communion, I want you to take just a moment and rest before the Lord, remembering that He created the world, and through His Son, He's recreated each one of us, giving us new and abundant life. As you prepare to offer your own prayers for the bread and for the cup, I ask you to pause and reflect on just a moment on whether this time away from work or time away from watching sports or whatever the other things that occupy your time is, has this time been reinvigorating and refreshing to you, or has it been a burden? I encourage you to remember this prayer of St. Augustine, who said, "Lord, you have made us for yourself, and our hearts are restless until they rest in you." I look forward to seeing each one of you all again soon. But until then, and hopefully after then, may we learn to rest in Him.